not the most exciting thing. You know, we got a lot of players here, and some of you guys probably have never even bunted in a game. Raise your hand if you've never actually bunted in a game. There's no several of them, okay? I understand that. If you're like a 3 or 4 hitter on your team, chances are you're not going to bunt a lot, okay? I think, and I want to get across to you guys, and I know the coaches here are the same way. Our conference, we bunt a lot, okay? We sacrifice when we need to. We bunt for base hits when we need to. You know, we use it as a weapon, okay? And I just want to relay to you guys that if you learn how to bunt, that you can really add to your batting average. Not only does it help your team, it's going to help you as a player. An example, high school season, okay? You can get 4 or 5 bunts down, bunt base hits on a high school season. Your average is going to go from 350 hitter to a 400 or a 300 to 350. Okay, that's a separator right there. That makes a huge difference for what type of player, how you feel what type of player you are. Not to mention the benefits you're doing for your team.
Many of these kids have spent their summers on the baseball diamonds of the local athletic associations, traveled to play in premier baseball events, spent hours at their club facility working on honing their skills. Some of these kids have played for their school feeder team. Others have played on teams with the local athletic association. They have participated in the summer camp of the high school they will be attending since the 6th grade. One thing they all have in common. This week, they participate in what they have been preparing for since T-ball, to make their high school baseball team.
Soldiers, so opposite foot, opposite hand, stretch it out. Go. Right, left, turn. Full spin, right, right, left, right, left, turn. Full spin, top spin, ready. Up with one leg, down with both hands, touch the ground, kick back. Take it back, take a couple steps in between. Lunge out, elbow to the instep. Stay off the ground. Do not use your other hand on the ground. Right here. Inside the foot, yep. Inside, Jack. There you go. Inside. Inside. I like that one. Good one, isn't it? It's my favorite. Go. Go. Go.
Those stretches you were just working on, I mean, what is it, how do you think these kids, do you think they've ever really done that kind of thing before?
A few of those stretches I think they might have, but like the last one there, now they've never done something like that stretch before. So I think it stretches parts of the body that they've never really stretched before. And they had trouble with it at first, and that's good for them, just getting used to it, getting parts of their body, working parts of the body that they've never done before. When I played in college, I never did that stretch until college. And
Really?
ever since, I've been using that stretch ever since. And that's probably my favorite stretch to do. See the kids look at it like, what are you doing? And then we start stretching, you hear all the moans and the groans and like, oh, it hurts. Then once they're done with it, they feel it and they enjoy it.
So in terms of bunting, we are still bunting strikes. We are not chasing pitches. That's why we set our bat at the top of the zone. That's the top of the zone. Anything above that, we're pulling back. We're bending down with our knees. We're not reaching down. So we're only bunting strikes. Maybe even, curveballs, they're going to be strikes too, so you're going to have to just read the pitch out of his hand. Hopefully that's what you're doing on deck. That's why you're getting locked in. You're seeing what he has. Slider, curveball, fastball, changeup, anything that he has, that guy's throwing, we're ready for, especially when you get up to the plate and I give you a bunt sign. Does that make sense? Yes, sir. Okay. Don't swing. Not stabbing at it. We're still proper bunting technique, letting the ball come to you. Don't stab at it. It's not a swing or a check. Good. Because everybody knows it's sacrificing. It's no secret. But when I say square late, I'm thinking maybe right here. Because he's already made that. He can't stop his motion because that'll be a balk. So when he's about right here, I'm squaring. I have my angle set. Everybody knows what I mean by setting the angle early. But I already have my angle set. I've picked a line, and I'm booking it down to first base. Hopefully fair or foul. Not bad. You can maybe get away with that being a lefty. Center. It's in no man's land. Last one. One strikes, one more. Button strikes. Good, next guy.
Okay, go one more time and give me a little more here. Okay, you're still kind of this way, right? Okay, a little better, we'll work on it. Grant, go ahead, jump up there, baby. Man. All right, here we go, Grant, you ready? Sack bunt. I like the flatness. Give me a little bit of an angle. Grant's laser focus. Okay, give me an angle, right? Third base for first. A little better. Okay, next. Hey, so get your hands away from your body. Square, hey, look at me. Nice and comfy. Nice and comfy. Don't be robotical. Go again. I want to see you again, Mikey. Throw him a couple more, Andrew. Nice and comfy. Or whoever's throwing them, I don't know. Next guy. Okay, hey, look at me. You're still, look at my eyes and look at that bat. It's too far. We've got to get down here. Keep the bat, look, keep the bat there, top of the strike zone's fine. But get your head down at the top of the strike zone, okay? That's better. Don't jab at it, but that's better. Give him one more, that's better. Get your head down. There you go. Hey, you missed it. You missed it, look at me. You missed it, but that was good here. Now give him one more. We gotta end on a good note.
Best one right here, Michael.
Okay, not bad. We'll work on it. Next guy.
Second base got your name all over it. Dead ball? Yeah, hit you? I know you want to hit. Come on down. Get him next time. Yeah, oh yeah, I know. Always knows that.
If as you're watching these kids come to bat, what are you looking for with
I'm
these
really
kids?
looking overall. I'm looking for something glaring that stands out that they could do to improve. You know, and every kid's different. But I was talking to Coach Greco that we kind of evaluate them during every day and then make suggestions. Rather than giving them a written evaluation at the end. So make suggestions as we go. Field wise, hitting, base running. But it's really good because we get an idea what kind of players are coming in, before tryouts, school ever starts,
So we were talking about launch angle, bat path. My point to it was the fact that kids at a young age, a lot, for 14 years they've learned to hit one way, and then you're trying to change their bat path, which is tough to do. Now there are certain kids who are advanced that you can talk about some things that might help them, but at the high school level, if you can't make contact with the ball, nothing good is going to happen out of that. More times out of not, you put the ball in play, it's going to happen. We teach the contact. We want kids to not get in the box, to just make contact but to drive the ball, and the best way to do that is be short to the ball, keep your weight back. Now, you might get some guys older, they get to college, those guys get them 365 days out of the year, teach whatever they want, but it's a good subject when you have the time to do it or you got an advanced player, but more times than not, it's teaching a kid to get in the zone and hit. Otherwise, he was talking about pitching.
And as a pitcher, seeing guys who are trying to get in the zone longer, if I'm a pitcher, I'm going to throw the ball in more on them.
because their hands are going to get jammed on them. You're going to hit them in the side, they're not going to do much with the ball. And you can throw all speed on it, where if you're flat, or if you're attacking the ball, you're going to change the trajectory of your bat up and down. Flat here, and I go low on it, I just got to stick the bat out, and not much I can do. So from the pitcher, I'm thinking of, okay, how can I combat that where I can make it tougher for the hitter to hit the ball? Go in, go out, up and down, change the eye level, location. It's tougher because they don't know exactly where the ball is going to be. You want the bat in the plane longer, go low, it's out of their bat plane. And it's going to cause a lot more swings and misses from the pitcher's point of view.
And a good launch angle takes a lot of technology. And a lot of things high school guys don't have the luxury of using. You know what I mean? You got to get them on film. You got to be able to break them down to little bitty things, because you can really screw a kid up if you're not teaching them the right thing. So as a high school coach, I think it's important to hit the contact and to stay short, because one day you're going to see a guy throwing 72, next day you're going to see a guy throwing 90, and you got to be able to be quick and get the bat to the zone, or you're going to struggle throughout the year. So that's my view on it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
Your foot might come down right before he throws. That's all right. Sit and wait. Sit and wait. Use your head. That'll boy. Hit it with the thorn. There you go. Good. Okay, the last couple, swing regular, okay?
Pull your arm back, let it get set. Pull your arm back, let it get set.
All right? So, when we're doing our soft toss, give him a couple, just regular, and then add in that one where we stop to see if he has his hands back still and where his weight is. What is our weight supposed to be? Yeah, 60-40, okay? So make sure we still have our weight in a good distribution, so then when we go and hit, we've got our weight going forward. All right? Okay, let's do this.
Watch it all in. Head on it. Head on it. Better.
Oh, really?
One of my favorite drills right here is a little 2T extension drill. We talk about short to it and long through it, right? Okay, so we want to take our regular swing right here, getting to the baseball right here on the sweet spot, driving through it. So I want you to take just 1 or 2 swings here, getting through the baseball. Then I want you to leave the tees right where they're at. And I want you to set up like you're hitting this baseball off the back tee. Okay? I'm still going to be short to it just like I'm hitting that one, but I have to get long through it to hit that tee out front. What this drill helps accomplish is getting you to stay through the hitting zone as long as possible. All right? Some guys will get to the hitting zone and we say we cut themselves off. They'll be here and then cut themselves off. If I cut myself off on this swing, I might hit it here, but I'll cut myself off and I don't even get to that second ball. I don't have my bat through the hitting zone as long as I want. The longer I can keep the bat through the hitting zone, the better chance I have to square it up and hit it hard, right? Now, hitting's about timing, pitching's about disrupting timing, right? I think that's an old Satchel Paige quote. So, we're just gonna go stride low. We're just gonna do regular soft toss just like we just did. Fastball. Oh. Fastball. Now I'm gonna trigger check them, and then boom, it's a changeup. All right, so that's the way it's gonna look. So here we go. Oh, change up. Just keep your weight back and drive it. Just like hitting a curveball or a changeup, you're gonna stride and load, but you gotta sit back and then explode on that changeup or that curveball. All right, 8 minutes or less. So let's get through this real quick and then we'll go scrimmage.
4 behind, and 4 in front of the pitch.
Who was it? Who was it? Was it? Who's starting on the bump today?
Oh, you said me, coach.
Oh, Bryce, I think you got Bryce. You need to fill it up.
Notice my hips are still facing second base. That's not a creep, okay? Why? Because I want you guys ready to sprint in if the ball gets past them. So you should be basically, you should look like a sprinter on your last step, okay? Watch what I do. You guys are gonna do this in a second. So get my lead, I know where it is. When he delivers the ball, I'm gonna creep. When the ball hits the catcher's mitt, I should be right here like a sprinter. I'm ready to go. If the catcher catches it, what do? How? How do I come back? Back up? Right, stepping in fair territory, coming back. Once the catcher's got it, coming back. Creep. Catcher's got it, back in fair. Okay, pitcher's delivering, creep. Back, fair, attaboy.
So if I can see the second baseman, okay? Then, as we come in, think of ourselves as coming in on kind of a triangle. We're gonna come in on a line. So as the pitcher then comes set, I'm going to creep in, right? I'm gonna creep in, I'm watching the pitcher. If he looks at me, I'm going to do like this, but then I'm gonna continue on my line. Deke step, continue. Deke step, continue. Second base, I think, is easier to feel third than it is actually to feel second because your feet are moving consistently, right? Okay? Now, if he pauses long and looks back at you hard and you hear the coach tell you to get back a step, then obviously we're gonna take a step back, right? But what we wanna have happen is by the time the ball is being pitched, I wanna be timed to where I'm secondary and out and I'm almost into that baseline to where I'm ready to go either way, okay? So let's practice. Let's see it. First guy up. So you're just gonna come back. All right, he's on the rubber and he's set. So kind of creep in, creep in. He looks at you, deke step, good, but don't actually step back. Keep on the same line. All right, he pitches, secondary, good. All right, perfect. Let's go next guy. That was good. Break it down, break it down. There's a line down here. That's the fault. Okay. I beat you.
I tripped.
Yeah, I got him. It's okay. It's okay.
Let me go again.
I only win 7 Okay. Jesse, how do you spell your last name?
Vershoven, V-E-R. What would you get, Justin? S-H-E-L-V-O.
What was it?
457.
457, not bad. What did you get? Cooper. If they're getting down there in 4 seconds, that's pretty good for a freshman. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. I mean, we got a lot of guys in the low 4s, which is pretty good. You know, and obviously as they develop, they get faster. The speed of the game picks up for sure. So I mean, just because the guy's at 5 right now doesn't mean he can't be there. As he gets older and works on speed and agility and explosion and all that good stuff.
It's also the
Let me get a backhand. Go back in, stay in. You're out. Have a hat. Stay in. Look at that. Hoover. It's a backward. You gotta make this play.
Good. Get that butt down. Good. Make sure you get your butt down. Good. One more. Good, 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 good. Hey, that's good. Come on in. Come on in. Okay. So when it comes to, and I know you guys know that's fun and dive or whatever, but I'm into making sure we do detailed stuff like catch it on the left half. Okay. On those soft hands, when we get in indoors in January and you start seeing those balls bounce off, it's not because of their hands, it's because of their feet. Some of you guys have to buy into the fact that infield and baseball, the game is played with your feet. Tyler Ferguson, one of the best infielders I've ever had last year, going to Merrimack, real good player. Everybody talked about how smooth his hands were. Yeah, they were smooth, but his feet were beautiful. He set up his feet so it was easy to catch every ball. So some of you guys already have naturally good feet, all right? We got to buy into the fact that it's about your feet. Everybody always forgets about that with the infield, okay? So make sure you guys understand it's about your feet, okay? You guys got that? Now, I realize you wanted to dive and have some fun, but we'll have plenty of that later on, okay? So making sure we're catching it on the glove side and moving our ball, circling down. Some of us got to work on it. Well, we all do, technically. But some of us are more natural at it, so we got to, tighten up the detailed stuff. Others have got to focus on the basics, okay? All right, let's go get ready to hit. Play. Who's pitching today?
Me. I got it.
What? You
if I wasn't the only catcher, I would be ready.
Luke, I like it. Confident.
Luke is coming out here with his focus.
Folks, we're out here at the GAC 9th grade preparatory camp, and we have Coach Donahue from Francis Howell North High School with us. We're gonna talk to Coach here about how this camp got started. And Coach, if you want to tell us how that happened.
Well, originally, my late brother Gary, who was the freshman coach at the time at Lafayette, had asked me and Ricky Fiala, who was working at Jeffco at the time as an assistant coach, if we would go to Ellisville and work this camp. And the premise was that they would take the first 30 kids that signed up that were going to be in 9th grade. And that was the stipulation. And run this camp for a week. The reason behind it was that if you're a parent or you're a student athlete and you're going into 9th grade, the biggest question that you have is, what do I need to do to make my high school team? And so basically the three of us sat down and we decided that we'd just run a boot camp. Basically, seriously, my brother Gary, there were, 30 some odd kids that were going to try out for the Lafayette freshman team, and they decided they were going to have two teams. And they ended up having that. They had an A team and a B team, and A and B didn't mean this team was better than that team.
Right.
It just meant that he was going to take 15 players here and 15 players here and have the two programs. And it turned out great. As a matter of fact, at the end of the week, the parents and the kids were so fired up they wanted to go another week. So
That's great.
Yeah, it was. It was, especially for baseball people, we absolutely positively enjoyed it. And that Lafayette group of kids, the Grana kid, they were pretty talented. And they got after it, and so that made it even more enjoyable. Go right ahead.
Go ahead.
After that, I came back, and Tony Perkins was my assistant. He had just taken the job here at Howell, and I went to him and I said, "Hey, man," I said, I got an idea that Gary and we just ran a boot camp for 9th graders. You guys going into 9th grade? I said, we could do that for the GAC. So he said, hey, you just keep thinking up the ideas and I'll do the business part of it. And I was like, okay. So Gary, he ran it. He was the headmaster of the school, and I had to go in front of the ADs make a proposal, and they thought it was wonderful, and this will be our 16th year, and I really believe it's a novel entity because I don't know of any other sport that does this. And You know, last year we had over 1,000. I think this year we're close to 1,000.
Let me ask you this, Coach. You see all these kids coming in year after year, 16 years. How do you think this helps prepare them for their high school experience?
First of all, you know, when these kids come in, they are with their varsity coach for the entire week. And there is, starting from the first day to the last day, those varsity coaches are imparting to those players exactly what they're looking for in players. And at the end of the week, I know we give a written evaluation, and we sit the player down and we talk to him and say, okay, you got 9 months. And basically, you know, our philosophy is pretty much, we don't worry about the strengths. We want to know what you can't do, and that's what you need to concentrate on and work on, your weaknesses. And I would say probably 99.9% of the kids that come to GAC camp make their teams. That's pretty good sales recommendation right there. If anybody's got one better than that, except for Jesus, I love you, Jesus.
There you go. Amen to
that, he's the best.
Yeah, that's right.
But 99.9, not too bad.
Not too bad at all. So when you wrap up today here at the camp, what do you hope to get out of this? I mean, you see all this. How much satisfaction do you get out of seeing all these kids from this community come here every year? And what do you try to instill with them as people?
Well, I don't think anybody has as much fun as I do out here. I'm talking kids, parents, players. You know, it's a disease. It's in my blood. We look at it as a coaching staff, and I had every one of my coaches here this week at one time or another. Basically, so we know, and this is something that's really outstanding about this situation. We know, me, the head coach, my assistant on the varsity, my varsity assistant on the JV team, and my assistant freshman coach, we know every kid's first and last name. Now, you tell me how many freshmen head coaches know their first and last name at the end of the week. And when I say, like Ben Cavato pitched yesterday, I said, Benny, nice job. This is the varsity coach talking to a freshman who hasn't played an inning yet. Right. And that shows them the commitment and the interest that we have in them, not only as a player, but you know, as a person. Right. And we try to impart some philosophies, because I mean, how many guys are going to be, you know, a pro player? Now, we have had 210 kids since 1986 go on and play college baseball from our program. We're very proud about that. But, I mean, things such as there's no such thing as status quo in life or in baseball, because if you stay the same, somebody's going to pass you up. That's correct. How much talent does it take to hustle? Zero. I mean, little things like that that hopefully are life lessons. And it's just not baseball. You know, we preach all the time. You got to stay even. You're going to have high days, you're going to have low days, but the players that are going to be successful, they need to be here all the time. Little pieces of minutia that can help them not only in the dugout, on the field, but in the classroom, at home, in the community. That's all part of it. And I think these guys do an excellent job.
That's awesome, Coach. Well, Coach Donahue, we want to thank you for your time. We appreciate you allowing us out here, being able to stick our camera in your face and all that. We appreciate that.
Sorry about that. hope nothing got broke.
No. So.
Hey fellas, hey, here's what what we're doing. Real simple. If you lost yesterday, you're going back to the same field and playing first. If you won yesterday, you're playing second. So here's what we got. Field 3. Field 3, right here. We got, whoa, down there. Zumont West and Troy 9, go. That's right now. Field 6. Field 6. House Central and Hal. You're on field 6 to start. You'll be down there next. Field 1. Right here, Zumont South and Timberland. You're starting off right now. Field 4. Field 4 for starters. Zumont East and Troy 5. Field 2 right now. Liberty and Zumont North. Field 2 right now. Liberty and Zumont North. And then field 5 right now is Holt and Francis Howell North. Field 5. Holt and Francis Howell North.
What are you looking for at this camp here?
Just looking for kids that are coachable. You know, we go through a lot of different drills with the kids, and then they apply it in a scrimmage-like setting. And big thing we stress to the kids is that they apply the little individual skills we taught them, and they apply it to the game-like setting. When kids can do that, or at least they attempt to do that, it shows that they're really coachable, and that's what we're looking for. Because we get it, they're young, they're still maturing, they've got a lot of growth to do, not only as kids but as baseball players. So we're just looking to see that they're coachable and they have good effort and good attitude.
So how many kids you got out here right now?
As a whole, as our team, or as everybody?
As a program.
As a program, we have 16.
16.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a bit. So will most of these kids, when you come out, will they remember this experience, you think?
Yes. Typically, kids will talk about their freshman GAC camp throughout their high school career, because it's just their first, they've played on these summer teams. Some of them play together on the same summer team. Some of them play against each other. So they're kind of familiar with each other, but this is their first time actually competing together and working together as a group. And some of these kids, this is their first connection and first time making a bond that they have throughout their whole high school career. So it's a very memorable experience because it's the first time they meet kids that sometimes come to be their best friends.
What's your goal as you see these kids mature through high school what kind of impact you make on them?
I just want them to develop not only as baseball players but as people in general. I mean, as much as I would like our kids to all, be extremely successful in baseball and go on to college and play in higher levels and reach their dreams, the biggest thing I can guarantee is that they're all going to be fathers and they're all going to be husbands. So I want them to be, set them up for the most success in that field, because that's something that they're definitely going to be, and I want them to be successful in that, because that's going to leave a legacy for them.
Thanks, Coach.
No problem.
And so, what are you looking for when you come out to the camp here?
Oh, we're just looking for kids, come out, have a good time, have fun, and just a little get to know you, really more than anything, and see what they have coming into the year. Looking a little bit at the talent and everything, but largely it's just to get to know them, have fun, and have a good time out there. So that's what that's my goal. So,
very good, yeah. Very good. So when you meet these kids for the first time, what do you think about what you see when they're coming out of these clubs nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, there's all these different clubs, and I feel like kids are in a lot of ways better coached these days, kind of coming up, because there's a lot more of the select stuff, and so kids are a little bit more trained, it seems like. So we see a lot of quality players and good stuff. They know the game, and we're just trying to teach them our way that we run our programs.
Very good, very good. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Right, thanks.
About 3. Why? Why do we do this? Why do we do this? Yep, and we don't drop the ball and transfer, do we? How are you going to drop the ball and transfer when you put it right in your bare hand? Right? And it's quicker, right? Right? Why don't we stand up? Yeah, because we're not throwing the ball this way. We're throwing the ball this way, right? Back shoulders need to start coming through more, okay? And the reason for that is, ask your shortstop, don't believe me, ask your shortstop and second baseman how many you see these things. Did you hear me talking to my middle infielders about taking that jab step inside? Because when that ball sails, I don't want them to come get it. I don't take that jab step inside, because when they catch that Taylor, you're going to be right there, isn't it? If I come out here and get it, can I tag that guy? Not unless I say, go get it. Okay, no. I'm not going to be able to get him. Hey, during the game, you're going to be full of piss and vinegar, right? So that adrenaline's going to be pumping. You work on your technique in practice, and when it happens in the game, it's going to happen. Last thing, bag that guy at first base to steal. You want him to kill him. Throw his butt out. That's the attitude you got to have. Right?
Dude, I was so lucky.
Hey, Coach.
Preference on catchers.
So as you're going through the camp here, what you looking for from your kids?
Just guys who want to be out here, guys who have a passion for the game. I mean, those are the type of guys we want to have in our program. Guys that just love, live, and breathe baseball. So really, I just want to see guys just want to get better and work on progressing and just making that next step and then making the next steps to get to the high school level. And so that's pretty much what I'm looking for, just guys who really want to be out here, who just love it and breathe it.
How many kids you got coming out for you this in the camp?
This year we have 15, so I think it was 1 or 2 down from last year. We're expecting about 35 to try out at the freshman level. That's how many we had last year, so I would expect around the same number, probably around 65, 70 total in the whole program. So, I mean, that one day where we have to make cuts gets a little tough, but it does. I mean, these guys are setting themselves apart by being here today, and just being around the coaches is huge just because I'm already going to know their names coming in and all that good stuff. So it's really a big deal that they're here.
So it does make a difference being here, kind of getting to know you, doesn't it?
Getting to see them an extra week, basically. I mean, not that this is a tryout for the spring per se, but I mean, getting to know them a little bit better. Like I said, I'm at the high school level, so I don't really know them until they get there the first day of school. So if any chance I get to see them beforehand, like this week, is a huge benefit for them.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll say I ran fast.
Out of the 4 on my side, I ran the fastest.
At least I did it.
7.6. You were right at like 7, 1.5. That's awesome. Yeah, good hustle.
Yeah, I mean, that's story.
I think I got like 7. Speed, baby, speed.
What do you mean?
I like it.
Everyone thought
Right now, no stretch, no stretch. You guys,
no way.
We have 15 minutes. Go and grab a drink. They still got a drink. Go get a drink.
Hey, stay off the field, stay off the field, stay off the field. They're running, they're running. Stay off the field, stay off the field, stay off the field, stay off the field. You'd be dummy sick. Go in the dugout, stay in the outfield.
Oh, the pepper game on the side? The good one.
Huh?
Happens to everybody.
You only run if you don't die, even if it's unnecessary.
Yeah, see, I do.
Well, I mean, that was a little unnecessary. Very unnecessary.
Great hit, Coach. Great hit. Thanks, dude. Solid. Solid time.
Okay.
They did not look like it. What is that like?
Run! Touch the fence! Hey, time out! Everyone pick! Everyone pick! Hey, everyone pick up the balls!
Good job, fellas. You guys, if you weren't awake, now you are.
Coach, what's the purpose of the drill?
So the purpose of the drill is to sell out. That's the name of the game. And the focus is on basically them diving for balls. All right. So, and also if this player gets a ball in this hole, then they got to have teamwork and they got to go pick each other up. So it's a cool drill. Really just, and then they got to be out in 5 seconds. They don't sell out. They don't dive for ball. They got to run and touch center field. So, I mean, just focuses on teamwork and picking each other up, and it's competitive. So, and it's cool because we got 2 teams going, and we'll just play like so many rounds.
That's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you put competition on it, it makes it better.
So, Coach, you got one more day with the kids here. Yeah. So, what are you looking for in this last day here?
Hopefully, looking for them to put a little things into practice, into play that they've learned and been exposed to all week. So we kind of want to see if they're coachable. We don't know everything here, but what we do show them, we want to see if they can put it into play in a drill or definitely in a game situation. So today's a big day for them for scrimmaging. The championship brackets and all that. It's fun for these guys. So we don't necessarily care about winning and losing here, but we want to make sure that they're trying to apply some of the things they learned. You know what I mean? So we'll see. They'll have some fun today.
Very good. Very good.
Because you're not that far removed from 12U, 13U when your coach is like, get out there and cut, and you're like, oh crap, I gotta sprint somewhere. And you sprint out there, and the outfielder's got a 40-foot throw, and now you've got a 200-foot throw. He's out there because, he's got an arm. So let him throw longer than you. So when you're cutting, Where's my white hat guy? You, okay, for the first 3 times you were out. We're like, come on, baby, get in. And then by the end of it, you were in. So I like that coachability. That was good. So just infielders, don't go so far out when you cut.
We'll help you out. If you wait till the end of the semester to ask them, it's tougher. You do it right away when you're struggling, I'm more than happy to help you out. Give you more advice on what you need. Don't wait till the year. Don't procrastinate.
Yeah, that's the biggest pet peeve of a lot of teachers. Is kids will not, they'll be lazy the whole semester, and then when it comes down to that last week, all of a sudden the kid wants to do stuff to make their grade go up. That's not how it works. Teachers aren't willing to help you out as much there as they are if you just go to them right away. Okay?
And then also for South guys, pay attention to bulletins. We'll be announcing when we do open gyms and when we start bullpens. We'll start bullpens up either in November or December. Pay attention to that one. I'll be there to run those ones. Pay attention to that. Also pay attention to if you guys hear anything about the weight room. We'll probably do something where we do weight room in the morning. And get to those as much as possible. If you can't get a ride, talk to somebody. Talk to them after class in the sophomore and juniors. They'll help you out. We make sure that we tell them to help you guys out if you guys need help. It's good to see you guys there. It's good to get in the weight room, get working out. That's most of the thing. A lot of guys need to get help. Look out there. Okay. Questions about anything? Nope. Nope.
You guys did a great job this week. A really good job. Hey, remember what we said. You can't change anything just by one camp, one day of working on stuff. Stuff that you learned this week, think in your head and start applying it outside of your practices. You guys got to work on your own. Okay, to be able to change bad habits, make yourself better. Remember some of the key things you learned here, and you got to work on it yourself. Okay, it's not just automatically going to change for you guys. You got to work. Good job.
Good job.
Good stuff. Okay, the one thing I said before it started, really 2 things we look for: your attitude and effort. Your guys' attitude and effort is great. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I know I did. And we start school in 12 days. Get your sleep right now. Okay. So 12 days. Hey, when you guys get to school, stop by, say hello. Let me know if you have any questions with anything. What classes, how to get to each class, whatever, but I'm in room 173, so stop by, say hello, but you guys need anything, let me know. We'll have a meeting in, I don't know, a couple weeks after school starts, once everybody kind of gets in a rhythm and talks to baseball, what we're going to do in the fall. But hey, you guys had a heck of a camp, okay, a lot of good talent here, and most of all, just good dudes, okay, and that's what we look for, guys, just good dudes. I mean, you guys had funny jokes, and I had a good time with you, a lot of fun. So, you guys got any questions for me going into high school? You guys a little scared? High school, man? Afraid the seniors shove you in a locker and stuff? I'll play hard with you. Okay, don't worry. Timberland didn't do that. Okay, we got a nice class of kids. That's true. So, hey, real proud of each of you guys. Let's somebody break it down one more time. Who wants to?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Let me do it.
No.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Wolves.
See, let's get a good breakdown. All right, let's get the Eagles on 3 real quick, and then you guys can go ahead and go. Make it loud. Who's gonna say it? All right.
Eagles on